Hello, everyone, anyone. Kingwood Media, Police Crimes Report, October 7th, 2021. This may be my last video after 6 years of serious injuring, torture, brain splitting, body mutilations, medical blacklisting, 100% full physical identity theft, serious piss and shit torture through my head, my brain, my midbrain, lung and kidney damages, lies, time buying, cover ups, arrest refusals, false arrests, kidnapping, sex assaults, damages done, time bought, congratulations, Ontario Provincial Police, slave traffickers, human traffickers, sex offenders, drug traffickers, guilty of torture crimes, slavery, and homicides and cover ups through Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic, Lennox County General Hospital. Deserano cops, I need names and badge numbers. They are guilty of being accessories and accomplices to threats, intimidations, obstructions, death threats, forced confinement. Ontario Provincial Police Napanee, OPP, ex-chief or commander, guilty of first degree homicide or attempted homicide, drove a white Jeep Wrangler, August 6, 2019, had me shot on the corner of Bridge and Center Street. Him and a guy in a black truck, OPP cop or a cop named Barty. They are both guilty of first degree premeditated attempted murder. Staff Sergeants, years 2019-2021, kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Constable Ward. Shelley Hafner, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, a blonde-haired, heavy-set woman. Spencer Mills, 14716, Christine Schultz, Robert Kane, OPP Drug Cop 7224. The Lennox and Addington County General Hospital doctors who are guilty of first-degree premeditated or attempted homicide with the intent to commit and cover up through the file falsifications, medical blacklisting, treatment refusals to cover their crimes. Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital. Once again, she also goes by Dr. Margie V. She is the girlfriend to Stacy, Kingston AMHS. It is all organized, poor, homeless, elderly, disabled. There is also Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, ex-CEO Covey Duck and patient relations. She even told me that hospital had washed their hands with me and wanted me dead. No criminal record or history, had not been to a hospital in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to crimes happening to me after I was shot. No association with mental health, any psych wards, nut wards, shrinks, or anyone else prior to crimes happening that they are involved in and guilty of against me. Justice of the peace is also involved too. Threats, intimidations, accusations, obstructions, accomplices who cannot be arrested and touched without $22,000 who are guilty of torture crimes, my identity theft with the intent to commit homicide, and disability fraud. And OPP are guilty of aiding them. They also are the ones feeding them their drugs. They are the ones smoking up and getting and selling OPP drug supply. Alleged OPP cop supervisor Blair Kane Hardy, or Blair Hardy Kane. He and a Bill Woldridge, aka Bob Cross, he also Stephen Maben, a possible wanted escapee, guilty of stalking, torturing, causing my mother's death, killing her with intent December 20th, 2020, through Spencer Mills 14716 and Stacy Kingston AMHS. The one known as Bill Woldridge thinks that he and I were switched at birth when I am 53 and he is in his 60s. Thinks that he is my dad also and was calling my mother mom. are the OPP drug traffickers. Bill Woldridge is the one that was stalking children for ex-OPP chief or commander for sex slavery trafficking at Tim Hortons Daily. Robert Berry, Laidlaw truck driver, Bridge Street, Napanee, Ontario, possible serial killer, guilty of torture crimes on me and sex assaults. Bert Hustler, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, a brat boy, Raymond LeBlanc, Harry Hartwick, my cousin, Dale Hartwick, his nephew, my cousin, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, his boyfriend, Edward Alex Robichaud, Hamilton House in Kingston, Ontario, and Robert Hanna. And there is also another involved, but I cannot name right now under the threat that my wife, who we're no longer together, will be murdered, and my nephew under death threats as well. People go missing, families are murdered and missing, 100 proven provable identity theft has been done against me after I was shot. Each and every one are organized traffickers, registered sex offenders, junkies. Jason Van Alstyne sells laced fentanyl for Robert Kane between Napanee and Kingston to addicts and homeless committing overdoses because they're easier to cover up. Lies against victims of being suicidal, self-harmer, and drug users, which is not true in any way, shape, or form. So they can use those, can use those narratives to cover their crimes up of homicide against their victims. This is also about disability fraud through these lowlifes to collect ODSP fraud. Other cops involved: intimidations, threats of homelessness, false charging, which led to death threats, forced confinement, torture, and attempted homicide. I now have tubes in my head like a certain person does, and it can be 100% proved. I get piss and shit torture going through my head and my face. I have a tube also in my throat that goes to the back of my head, which I can show and prove and have on my channel. I get piss, shit, and air goes through my head, pumping my head up. I have what feels like a balloon around my skull where it restricts my skull also and caves in my temple area. It also blows up like a balloon as well. I have what feels like a plate under my skull. No surgeries, all started to happen after I was shot. This is a reason why I am being prevented medical help, and for the 6 years getting proof of what was shot into me. The lies, the time buying, in hopes of deniability while still guilty, whether transferred or not to avoid arrest, charging, and lawsuits against OPP. Each and every one named are guilty of first degree of murder and attempt, and are very seriously dangerous threats to society, poor, homeless, elderly, disabled especially. Your life means nothing to them, and I can have proven it. My mother and me were test subjects, I believe, to prove that these pieces of shit, along with even the doctors, can commit any crimes they want and get away with it and have it covered up and on to the next. I've tried everything to get arresting and charging without any luck. Every single means: LICA, OIPRD, justice of the peace, private prosecution, and even going to the police with proof to get arresting and charging. No luck. $22,000 extortion to have anybody arrested, which I do not have. You are guilty of not only murdering my mother, having my dogs tortured, my full identity theft with the intent to frame me, traffic me more, possibly fuck me over as one of your accessories, your little love bugs who cannot be arrested, or actually fully finished killing me and covering it up. And I say that without paranoia. They have proven just how dangerous they really truly are. You're completely fucking my brain, numbing me down in hopes that I forget about this, in hopes that I forget about everything, including my name and everything else, so I can be totally incapacitated and completely and totally fucked. How many others have you done this to? And I'd like to know, how many murders are you actually guilty of? And I guarantee you have taken a lot of lives, and I guarantee you have had them covered up. Not an accusation, I am just saying. Because of what you've done, once again, families are murdered and missing. They are possibly going through identity thefts while being seriously brain injured, lobotomized, identity theft changes, and then being trafficked and possibly killed as somebody else. Take that into consideration. And that's murdered and missing for everyone, including children. I hate to speak this way about police, but they've left me no choice. They've proven just how seriously dangerous they are and what they will do to commit their crimes and get away with them. And the other cops that are involved, this is also a hate crime against me as well. Anything more happens to me, and it's going to be more revenge to show and prove just how corrupt and how seriously dangerous you really truly are, knowing that there is nothing can be done against your crimes or for your crimes against anybody. No charter or rights laws, no laws whatsoever. You have a badge, you have a gun, simple as that. You are the judge, juries, and executioners of anybody you fucking well want. You don't get sucked off or get laid on a certain day. How many people, how many lives have you taken just over that? Check out my other videos. Be safe, love all, hate none. Hit the like, share, subscribe, especially share. And I hope you're having fun shadow broadcasting this in the background. Brant using Pegasus, the police spyware software that was given for this, to prevent any of my videos actually getting out and to actually copy all my shit for this identity theft. And I will not be proven wrong. Never speak police crimes. If you do, I hope you have body bags, because that's where you and your family members will end up, and they will get away with it. All it takes, especially around Napanee and area, all it took was a little bit of crack, a little bit of lies, time by lobotomizing their victims, and they're very serious criminal doctors. All I did was speak their crimes, and they lobotomized me, they tortured me, mutilated me, and took all my fucking rights in every way, shape, and form. Because they think not only they are the law, but they own everybody. I am a fucking commodity to these lowlives and junkies. I was sold for a welfare check for $740 for the torture crimes and for my identity theft. Luckily, I am under gag orders to even get medical help. I give my location to get medical help even, and I get falsely charged. And I get fucked over even more.